The Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, has denied accusations that he is working against Yoruba interests and regional governance in the National Assembly. Now, the allegations claimed Bamidele opposed the reintroduction of the regional system, saying it would automatically grant the Eastern region Biafra. So in a statement from his media office, Bamidele dismissed these claims as baseless and politically motivated, challenging anyone to provide evidence of such remarks. He clarified that the issue of regional governance was never discussed at the Senate retreat on the review of the 1999 Constitution, and no proposals on the matter have been submitted to the Senate's Constitutional Review Committee. Bamidele emphasized his commitment to Ekiti, the Southwest, and Nigeria, warning that he may take legal actions against those spreading false information. He stated that none of the 53 bills currently under review by the Senate propose a return of regional governance, stressing that the accusations were an attempt to tarnish his image. I'll bring you in on this one first.
You see, there is no smoke without fire. You know, when I was still a student in the major seminary, they would tell you that the walls have ears. Not only that, they say there is a rule governing us in the school for you to be on a safer side. They say that particular thing you want to say, why must you say it? And know to whom you're saying it and the reason you must say it. You know, some of those politicians, and when they find themselves in the hierarchy, they speak without caution. You must have made that statement because for somebody to come and accuse, those words filtered out from their cronies. So you not tell me that somebody will stay. You know why? What I usually say to people, when I say something or somebody want to misinterpret me or put words into my mouth, I say, why must I tell you the lie? Will it add to my bank account, or will it make me to grow further? So when they want to speak, they don't know the extent to which their words can go, and the damage control they'll be fighting to now put out there. You know, most of those our allies and political office holders, they make some statements, and at the end of the day, they will tell you they have been put out of context.
Yes, that happens sometimes. But here he's saying,
he said that he never
saying, bring your evidence to the table.
It is not about evidence.
It's not about evidence.
When somebody had something, you know, mostly, I don't know whether you have had the opportunity of sitting with them or going to their functions. Phones are bad. There are a lot of things we cannot. There are security measures they use in trying to make sure that some of the things they say don't go out to the public there. So we know them, and we also know their modus operandi. But if somebody has put out such a statement without mincing words of what he said, the meat of what he said is about this regional government, and we know that this news of or gossip about the moving back to regionalism did not start today. Some eminent Nigerians went to the president, submitted a document. So it is not a case that it is something that is still shrouded in secrecy. So that news has been there since this year. And those eminent Nigerians went to the Mr. President. So for somebody to have drawn his own input or whatever he says outside the public domain or where his friends are gathered, I will not sit here and be saying that maybe Bamidele didn't say it or he said it. But there is a saying in Igbo adage that anybody who is rapper around him or herself to go and take his bed should know him or herself. So he should know that the person that has put out this particular statement that he made, and if you digest it critically, you find out that there is a sense to what the statement he has made is tending towards the Biafra agitation, because the Biafra agitation is a truism. The moving back to regionalism is also a truism. So we are in it. is it a lie that there is something about Biafra agitation and there is a document talking about regionalism? So Bamidele should know himself.
All right, let me bring Mufasa in on this.
He should know himself.
My position on the matter is simply this. I know that in the course of advancing our national life, no issues should be considered not suitable to be discussed at the floor of the National Assembly. It is a parliament, and they shouldn't shut the doors to any suggestion. So if we are having a discussion on regional government, it's not an anathema. You know, I don't want to go into the allegation of whether he said it or not. So a parliament is a place where people argue for national advancement. I think when you want to look at regional government and what we practice today, placing it side by side, there are pros and there are cons, and that is why, you know, they call themselves parliamentarians. Obviously, the things they do these days, for me, it doesn't really, you know, portend whether they are even, you know, practicing what they should be doing at the floor of the House. In other parliament, we see people engaging in robust arguments, you know, that transcend to national development. So, but what we see in our own National Assembly, the day they talk about a constituency project and all of those things, you know, frivolities, even in the face of the current economic, you know, hardship that Nigerians are passing through. So, it is left for him to either prove himself wrong or right. You know, he's a leader of the Senate. He doesn't represent Ekiti people alone, because the moment you become a principal officer of the Senate or the in any of the houses of the National Assembly, you are considered a representative of the people, not just Ekiti's people alone. So let us not, you know, begin to trivialize a lot of issues. Regional governments, federating units, 36 states, you know, these are, we can still discuss it.
So, for him to come out and say he did not say it, you feel he's trivializing
the whole
conversation,
issue, and he's trying to reduce the status of the National Assembly. I just told you that, you know, in a parliament that represents the people from all walks of life, Nigerians, it has to be open to all kinds of debates. Like you rightly said, people must have submitted bills. They must have had discussions in their own closet, and they must have made certain issues that for what that should we be talking about. They may not have said it on an official capacity, you know. But then again, must have mentioned it, and somebody must have, this man is against this and that. Which for me, you know, it doesn't speak well of a leader of a Senate.
All right.
You know, you should give, you know, you should keep an open door.
Okay.
So that people should be allowed to state their position on policies that think it affects them. It's a parliament and not a court group.
Thank you
Lady Jackson, let me put out
in a minute.
Yes. You see, for Bamidele to be fighting for a damage control, you know, underscores a sinister motive to me.
Why?
Because if he did not say this and he didn't say it like Mufasa said, from what we read, this bill has not gotten to the National Assembly, and he didn't say it in the open. It wasn't in the floor of the Senate. Wherever he must have said it was in the private, and somebody is now accusing him. So for him to be, Nigerians are not aware of this. You know, there are some certain things you don't need to fight. Time overtakes it. You know, the issues on the table overtakes it until this particular bill comes out as a bill, and there will be a debate. And somebody is now accusing you of your position. Then you will now know.
Sorry, let me your button. Sorry, what if a Nigerian decided to forward this bill now to the National Assembly? Are you telling me
what will his position?
So it's not for you to come out
to start about. I am feeling that this is not worth it.
Yes,
it's not worth it. And if he's now trying to,
way to tarnish his image,
this is not in the public. You didn't
calling
make
for a debate or it's not a call to analyze.
Yes. What is he fighting to?